Why is the Antarctic ice wall considered a restricted area for humans? Under the mysterious ice, is there really another world hidden? What if I told you more than 400 lakes are hidden beneath the Antarctic ice wall? It's inhabited by creatures that have never seen the sun. Can you believe it? February 5, 2012. Vostok Station in Antarctica. The drill of a Russian scientist. Penetrating the last few meters of ice. Everybody holding their breath. If the operation is wrong, huge pressure will make the lake gush in an instant. The entire team could be buried under 3,768 meters of ice. The moment the drill hits the lake, everyone was stunned. Beneath the ice wall is not solid ice at all. More shocking still to come. 77% of the genes of these creatures are completely different from those on the surface. The equivalent of discovering alien life on Earth. They've been eating rocks for 25 million years. A split takes 196 days. But the scariest thing is, the wall of ice that protected the world for 12000 years, collapsing in 35 days. 300 times faster than predicted. In 2025, even the most stable part of East Antarctica began to crumble. When the 60-meter tsunami comes, secrets under the ice wall in coastal cities will disappear forever. So these frozen lakes, what secrets are hidden? The answer will help you reassess the boundaries of life. Lake Vostok is just the tip of the iceberg. Under the Antarctic ice sheet, scientists have identified more than 400 liquid lakes. They're like a giant underground water net, connected to each other by rivers under the ice. The largest lake in Vostok, an area of 1,400 square kilometers, equivalent to 3 Shanghai cities. The depth of the lake exceeds 1 kilometer. And here's what's even weirder. This lake had been cut off from the outside world for at least 2 million years, but still remain liquid. Does that go against common sense? Not at all. The secret is pressure and geothermal energy. Imagine that. When more than 3,000 meters of ice is pressed against the lake, the resulting pressure is equivalent to 300 atmospheres. This pressure can drop the freezing point of water from 0 to minus 3.5 degrees Celsius. At the same time, the geothermal heat inside the Earth is constantly being transferred upward. It acts like a natural insulation system. Keep the temperature at the bottom of the lake at around 0 degrees Celsius. The insulation of ice plus the geothermal supply. These lakes are in the dark. It's been working for millions of years. But what really shocked the scientists? It's a life form found in the lake. 2015, researchers retrieved ice cores from Lake Vostok. In the sample, detected DNA sequences from more than 3,500 microbes. These creatures have never seen sunlight. You can't photosynthesize. They rely on chemical synthesis, converting minerals and rocks into energy. This survival strategy is known as the rock messenger. They're eating iron, sulfur, methane, decent organic things. And here's what's really amazing. Their metabolisms are horribly slow. A cell completes a division. It takes nearly half a year, whereas surface bacteria only take 20 分钟 use. What does that mean? They live their lives in slow motion. Extremely low energy consumption in exchange for tens of millions of years of existence. This discovery of extreme life revolutionized biology textbooks. In the past we thought life depends on sunlight, temperature and oxygen. But what the subglacial lakes in Antarctica tell us is that as long as there is liquid water, even under extreme pressure in eternal darkness, in an almost nutrient-free environment, life can still find a way out. This discovery has scientists excited, because if the most extreme environments on Earth can give birth to life, then Jupiter's moon Europa, Saturn's moon Enceladus, the subsurface oceans of these frozen planets, is there a similar life form? Yet while we are still rejoicing at our discovery, a bigger crisis is looming. The Antarctic ice sheet is melting at an unprecedented rate. Data display. From 2002 to 2023, the amount of ice lost in Antarctica every year. From 100 billion tons to 150 billion tons. That's one lake lost every year. The most stable East Antarctic ice sheet. It was thought to be able to withstand global warming for at least a few hundred years. Now there are cracks. Totten Glacier, the largest glacier in East Antarctica. The bottom is being eroded by warm ocean currents. It's retreating about 2 kilometers a year. Once the Totten Glacier collapses, will pull the entire East Antarctic ice sheet sliding towards the ocean. Global sea level rise of 3.5 meters. This is not alarmism. It's what's happening. In 2021, scientists in the Ross Sea, Antarctica, a new subglacial lake had been discovered. But the way it appears is disturbing. It wasn't drilled, but because the ice above suddenly collapsed, the lake water is directly exposed to the air. This means that the stability of the ice sheet had begun to break down. And here's what's even scarier. Once the ice wall collapses on a large scale, those microbes that have been sequestered for thousands of years will be released into the ocean. Their genes are completely different from modern organisms. Evolutionary paths have been independent for over 10 million years. We can't predict at all. After they come into contact with modern ecosystems, what will happen can lead to new diseases or change the ecological balance of the ocean. Nobody knows the answer, except for the subglacial lake. The Antarctic ice is itself a time archive. Scientists drill through ice cores, can read the past 80 years of climate history. Each layer of ice is like a tree ring. It records the temperature, precipitation, and atmospheric composition for that year. The deepest ice core had been drilled to 3,200 meters. It covered 8 ice ages and the complete cycle of bi-interglacial periods. From these ice hearts, we discovered a surprising pattern. The Earth's climate system is extremely fragile. The temperature rises by 2 degrees Celsius, could trigger the transition from the glacial to the interglacial. Sea level rise 10 meters, and now global average temperature is already 1.2 degrees Celsius higher than it would before the Industrial Revolution. Approaching the tipping point, the Antarctic ice core tells us another secret. The concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, highly correlated with temperature. Last 81 years, the carbon dioxide concentration has never exceeded 300 parts per million. But today it has reached 420 ppm. It's the highest it's ever been. Antarctic ice, the largest frozen archive on the planet, is warning us of its own melting. But the story of Antarctica is not just cold data and the temperature. Every scientist working in Antarctica had their own stories. They were trudging through a 50-degree below blizzard just to retrieve a tube of ice core samples. They held out for months in the darkness of the polar night, just to record the complete process of penguin reproduction. They risked their lives to drill through the ice, just to get a glimpse of those lakes that have been sleeping for thousands of years. They know every piece of data, every sample, is all about the future of humanity. Secrets beneath the Antarctic ice wall. It's more than just lakes and microbes. Deep in the ice, there are also ancient mountains and volcanic valleys buried. There may even be craters under the East Antarctic ice sheet. Radar detection display. There is a huge canyon 1,000 kilometers long, more than 8 kilometers deep, more spectacular than the Grand Canyon. This gorge was once the remains of an ancient river. 35 million years ago, Antarctica was a warm continent. At that time, Antarctica was covered with temperate rainforests, inhabited by marsupials and giant birds, until the plate drifts and pushes it towards the poles. Glaciers are slowly covering everything. Now as the ice retreats, these ancient secrets are being rediscovered. Because of the story of Antarctica, it's not just about a remote ice field. It's more about us, the place of humanity on this planet, regarding our responsibility for the future, about the resilience and wonders of life at its limits. When you see the news from Antarctica again, remember, it's not a distant world, but a community of shared future that is closely related to each of us.